Everybody,
welcome back.
Welcome. This is the Stinker Drinker Thinker podcast. We're three guys that pour some pours. We make some cocktails and we rank them in a ridiculously efficient ranking system. It's probably better than any number system or tasting note system or any fucking thing that people like Fred Minnick and all those guys do. It's known as the Stinker Drinker Thinker, and it's the most honest ranking system known to whiskey.
And honesty is the best policy.
Honesty is
so
the
therefore
best
it
policy.
is the best ranking system.
It is.
That's true.
We rank all this shit in that fashion. So if it sucks, it's a stinker. If it makes you think a little bit, it thinks. And if we can slug it, it's a drinker. So, and if you're new here,
it's as simple as that.
And if you're new here, welcome. A little disclaimer: we speak in absolutes 100% of the time. We're wrong 80% of the time, all of the time.
And if you are new here, that's not how the rating system works, but that's how Anthony's rating system
works. That's how my ranking system. Everyone here. One day I'm going to put out a PDF on Instagram of our ranking system according to all three of us, like our opinions on what they should be. And listen, you're all entitled to your opinion, but again, 80% of the time you're wrong all the time, and I'm always right 100% of the time. That being said, I am Anthony Longano, your host, joined by my co-hosts, Troy the
co-host. Finally
admitting it. I am the star of the motherfucking show, Alex Trebek. Here I am. I'm going to spin your fucking wheel. This is Troy the Body of Glotti. Troy, say hello.
How are you?
Troy is a world-renowned sommelier. He literally is a master at his craft. He could smell cow shit from fucking 500 miles away that's harvesting grapes from it. And this is Matt McKibble. Matt is a numbers guy. You can guess how he grew up. And he's got a ridiculous habit of spending all of his money, but then bitching about how much he spent on a whiskey that's really good. Matt, say hello.
A co-host, hello to you.
They're not my co-hosts.
Co-host, hello.
They're not my sorry. These are like my best friends. They're not co-hosts.
Sorry,
we all do this
we're
together.
The best friends.
Yeah.
Hi, I am the co-host best friend. I'm the host best friend. How are you?
Oh man,
we don't feel belittled.
If you're listening to this episode, you're listening to it one of two ways. You're either listening on your favorite podcast platform, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, whatever, or you're watching us live on YouTube, and we appreciate that. Please make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, the thumbs up button, and then 5-star reviews are huge for us to grow. So even if you're stopping by and you're not digging what you're seeing or hearing, definitely just do us a favor, do us a solid, give us a 5-star review, and maybe
especially if you don't like us, give us a 5-star.
Yeah, I mean, I know that might not make sense, but what it does is it makes it the way algorithms work these days, because the market is so overpopulated. It literally might put us in the presence of someone who will enjoy it. So. Troy's blog is live. Drinking with the Body is live. Batch 1. It's on the website at stinkerdrinkerthinker.com. Which, pardon our dust, that whole website's getting reworked. It's going to look sick. But Troy's blog is on there. Troy, without over-exaggerating right now, Troy's been around spirits and is actually trained in this stuff. Me and Matt are just collectors, and I just like to drink a lot. And think about it at the same fucking time. Don't you dare call me the drinker again. Fuck you guys.
That's the thing. You can't pinpoint. You can't pinpoint each and every one of us to one category. Like, we're all stinkers, drinkers, and thinkers at the same time.
I'm just a stinker. Sorry.
Like, I shower every day. Matt's always a stinker.
Do you know what I mean, though?
Stinker thinker.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat some shrimp before I come to the next one.
Oh my God! If you come here smelling like fucking garlic shrimp again,
do you understand my point though?
I understand your point. I understand your point. Yeah. But check that out on the website. While you're there, stop on by. If you guys listened to our glassware episode that came out last week at this point, we got some Glencairns available for sale. This is the new one. With that sexy logo on it. These look really good. Head over to engrave.com and hit up our buddy Zach over there if you're looking to get some custom glassware. But ours will do.
Not actually sponsored by them.
Not sponsored by them. That guy's just a really cool guy, and he did us a favor inventing the Infinite Drinker decanter, which we rolled out on last week's episode, which we'll get to in a second. But
the thinker.
Yeah.
We should change our logo so the Glen
I'm done changing logos.
So
Troy.
so there's like a Glen inside of the Glen.
Glenception?
So we could be drinking out of a Glen with
Glenception.
the Glen logo, and then there's a little baby Glen in that Glen, and then
What if it was a picture of you drinking a Glen on the microphone?
Drinking
in
a
the
Glen.
circle.
Yeah.
With the Glen.
No, we're not doing it. Head over to our website, buy some merch.
I'm hiring
We appreciate
a designer.
that. Buy some merch. Read Troy's fucking blog that I was going to tell you was really good, but he's pissing me off, so it sucks. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, too. We have some giveaways and shit like that that are going to be coming up soon, if not already, by the time you're watching this. Last week's episode, we did store picks that we thought were really good. I brought one, Matt brought one, and then we made a cocktail that sucked. Today, we're going to do our most disappointing store picks. One I bought when I was with Troy, so I'll give Troy credit for this one as well.
I do remember tasting it.
And so the story. So we'll
get
remind me to get to the story.
Yeah.
But and then Matt brought one. That Matt's. What's your deal with this one? You just weren't. You
It's
bought
a
it. You
Rebel
weren't a
pick
fan.
from a local store that I got and immediately said, "What?" I didn't even try it before. I just said, "It's Rebel pick." Everyone says it's good. I think at the time there actually were 2 or 3 barrels to pick from, and so I just picked one because whatever, who cares? I'm sure they're all good, and it was mind-blowingly bad
Yeah.
when I tried it. And then I said, "This can't just be me. It's a bad day, whatever." And so then I brought it over to a friend's house to try it. Actually, I was actually at Delvin's house with a couple people, and they're all like, "This is terrible." And then I tried it again and said, "Nope, this is definitely still terrible." So I'll be very curious to see. It's been sitting with that amount of whiskey in it probably for a year or two, maybe at this point.
Yeah.
We'll see if it's changed at all, and maybe it won't be the stinker stinker.
I mean, me and Troy had one pour of the bottle I brought, and it has not been uncorked since. We're gonna have to start with mine since it's lower proof too.
Matt, Anthony and I have not had this.
Not this bottle.
I don't think so.
Not this pick.
Okay.
No, this is we've had the Rebel 10 single barrel.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is different.
This is Rebels.
It's just a Luxro product. It's their Rebel store pick, essentially.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
You can walk in any liquor store that are doing store picks, and they'll have Rebel stuff on the shelf. But
probably.
they-
I mean,
yeah,
it's not that common.
At least in Indiana, every liquor store I go to has a Rebel store pick.
Yeah.
Um,
because they're not flying off the shelf.
they're not. And I'm curious. This is the first time I've ever had anything besides that Rebel 10 single barrel that me and Troy slugged one night, and then we brought on the podcast, and it didn't do that well when we did the Secret Santa episode.
Oh, so you've never had like their
I've never had anything
super
but that one.
obligatory whatever, like the Rebel. You know what I'm talking
Rebel
about.
Bebel?
The cheap one.
Rebel,
Yeah, yeah.
Rebel,
No, I've never tried
Rebel
that.
Yell.
Rebel Yell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never had
You've
that.
never had that. Okay.
Nope.
I have. Long time ago.
Would you remember what you thought?
No.
Okay.
I shot it for sure.
That's fair.
It's one of the shooters.
Yeah, I actually remember it was at the Ellen Witch bar in New Brunswick.
I remember. Yeah, I remember the Ellen Witch.
Yeah. A shitty little dive, but just a good neighborhood bar, and yeah, it was cheap. It had to be like $5 or something.
Wow.
Which at a bar is pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Especially in New Brunswick in New Jersey. But so I brought the this is a Bibb & Tucker
Bib and Tucker?
aged. It's a 12-year Total Wine store pick, and I've never had
That
a Total
cannot be
Wine
bad.
store. Yeah, I've never had a Total Wine store pick, and I think I said it a couple episodes ago. Total Wine store picks are usually money. Me and Troy went down to Total Wine. Our buddy Zach was here last August, and we stopped at Total Wine when we dropped him off at the airport. And Troy saw a Bibb & Tucker on the shelf. He's like, "Oh, Bibb & Tucker's really good. I've had it before, and I've never heard of it." And they had a store pick, a 12-year. So I tried it.
I had only had the 6-year.
So they had it, and what they did is they actually they had samples of the 6-year. The guy who was and by the way, the Total Wine in Nora, Indiana is fantastic. There's always good help there. Let's put it that way. They always find a way to sell me something. Anyway, so he poured me a sample of the 6-year, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is really good. I'll buy the 12-year store pick," and it was $110.
Yeah, I mean, that's got everything going for it. It's a Total Wine store pick. It's 12 years.
12 years.
Is it single barrel or not?
It's a small batch.
Okay,
all
that's
Bibb and Tuck. Bibb and Tuck. Oh, it's a single barrel select. So
That's got everything you probably think is a safe bet.
49.5, so 99 proof.
Yeah.
$110 bottle. And
I go back and forth between the bottle design. Do you like that?
no, I don't. I don't like anything about this bottle.
Oh, besides that,
I remember I used to.
Yeah,
I thought when I first saw it, it was cool.
Bibb & Tucker is a newer company. They are it's a company out of California. So a company called Three Badge Beverage Corporation. They're out of California. they don't necessarily. They're a younger company. I think they started in 2014, and they specialize in rye whiskey, wheat, 100% wheaters, and Canadian whiskey. That's all of their
not
background.
wheaters, wheat whiskey. You're saying
Wheat whiskey,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
wheat whiskey, 100% wheat whiskey,
Wheat whiskey,
100% rye whiskey, and then they do a lot of Canadian stuff, which is, to my knowledge, without sounding like, oh, I'm 100% right. It's mostly rye in Canada.
All right.
So this is kind of Bibb and Tucker was kind of the first dive into bourbon, and the term Bibb and Tucker is does not hold true to at least to what to me and Troy tasted.
What does that mean?
Bibb and Tucker back in the olden Western days was like, you're going to a formal event, you're going to wear your best Bibb and Tucker. Like it's a bib for eating, and then your shirt's getting tucked. Like it's a good formal.
Nothing to do with about tucking your sack in. Okay.
No. It's not like Hannibal Lecter.
Okay.
Or the little Nicky is like, I don't need luck, and he's rubbing his nipples and his sack's tucked.
Okay.
But yeah, so me and Troy, and I'm not blaming this on Troy because I was curious to it, and I tried the 6-year, and I bought the store pick, and me and him cracked this bottle, and we were super disappointed, and we have not tried it since. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a pour. Do you have a story about Bibb and Tucker that kind of persuaded me to buy it at that one point? Or
Probably. I was trying to dig. I vaguely remember doing some research on Bibb and Tucker when I first tried it, and I think it was actually in 2014. Like I remember seeing it. I remember it being kind of hyped when I bought the bottle, which I presume was the 6-year at the time. This was in South Jersey when I was working in Philly.
Yep. Also, it's sourced. It's distilled in Tennessee. I'm assuming it's Dickel.
Okay.
I do vaguely remember it being like a seemingly larger conglomerate type of company that was starting something that maybe wasn't like grassroots at all. It seemed like an established company that maybe was trying to get into bourbon.
Put some marketing dollars towards some
with some marketing dollars for sure. Yeah. That's as much as I can faintly remember about it. But I do. This could be me being a little bit naive and being a little. I guess it could just mean like I was excited about the idea of it, of the hype. Like I was in my early to mid 20s. And I was like, well, this looks cool. It tastes like it's cool, and probably wasn't as good as it was even back then. I remember showing it to a couple of friends and even bringing it to a party. Actually, I kind of do strangely remember quite a bit about it. But I also years later remember being pretty fucking disappointed with my first sips of the 12-year after Anthony had spent over $100 fucking on it.
I like
and it's not your fault, right? I'm not blaming.
No,
we tried the 6-year and it was fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, how bad can a fucking single barrel 12-year be?
Yeah, it's got everything. If I saw the stats, I would probably buy it.
But I mean, sourced by Dickel, essentially. Like without it saying Dickel on it. Maybe. I mean, that's and
we'll see.
People. I mean, I don't know how much time I want to spend on this or how much time you guys have even seen this, but like people, there's like memes about Dickel sourced stuff. Like
really?
Yeah.
Traditional. I mean, people will be able to. They'll be called Dickel hounds.
Yeah.
And they can go through whiskeys and like, oh, that's Dickel. With it just smelling like there's a distinct flavor and smell that Dickel gives.
I know because I remember the first time I had Dickel straight, like it was yesterday.
That everybody just
I loved it.
Troy knows the smell of the Dickel.
Yeah, he's a Dickel hound.
Yeah,
big old Dickel hound.
Call me a Dickel hound.
Yeah,
we just did.
Dickel hound. But I like the tasting note. You said the tasting note of cool. That's my new favorite tasting note. You're telling your story like I don't know. It just says like cool. I'm like, that's a good tasting note. I'm gonna take that one.
Well, pop the cork on that bitch.
Okay.
Looks like a real cork.
It is a real cork.
That's where all the money went.
Yeah, I don't imagine there's gonna be a big pop, but I guess we'll find out. Maybe not.
Okay.
Not bad at all.
Respectable.
And there's a lot of whiskey in there too.
Whiskey?
Yeah, I mean, there's literally 2 pours out of it.
Yeah, the cork's just a little like little baby boy. Well, best way to see that. Oh, this is nice. With the light in the background, you can kind of see. Nice. Look at this little cork. Little thimble. All right. Well, This is interesting. We're submitting these thinking they're going to be stinkers.
Well, and this bottle's been open for 10 months.
So we'll see.
So what?
Hopefully it's opened up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see if the stinker mentality rings true for Bibb and Tucker 12-year single barrel total wine pick.
Thank you, Troy.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you on the nose, might be okay.
Doesn't smell terrible.
Smells like grainy peanut butter, like natural peanut butter.
I get peanut butter caramel. It's kind of like a Snickers.
What kind of proof are we working with? 99, you said?
Yeah, it's
99.
99. Yeah, it's not terrible. I get some of that oak and leather type of deal, but it's very
Honestly,
very sweet and mellow.
it smells like a lower proof Booker's.
I've had a lot of Bookers, especially recently, and it does not.
It does.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have the earthy characteristic.
Really? You don't get any earthy? I get peanut butter and oats. And
I
like
dig
earth.
deep if I get peanut butter.
Peanut butter and oats.
I don't get the oats.
And grass.
I get the peanut butter, but it's so caramel forward. It's more like nougat. Like it's like a peanut butter chocolate bar without the chocolate.
It's like,
you know what kind of smell like those Hidden Valley those peanut butter bars that
oats
have the
and honey?
caramel, the oats and honey
Oh.
ones that have the caramel bottoms on them.
I was gonna go if they messed up the at one of the a Payday factory or like some candy bar factory and
Yeah.
they forgot the chocolate one day.
But then it's just got like a little bit of leather to it. It's got a little bit of a leather to it. What? What's so fucking funny? You gonna smell it finally? Waiting on you. What else is fucking new?
I already did.
All right, Joe, what do you think?
Man, how much time do you spend editing out Troy's silences?
0. I'm leaving it all in from now on.
No, it is. What is it? What is the sensation of peanut and peanut butter in whiskeys?
That's a great question. Maybe we should ask the next master distiller we have here when you get
It's,
your friend from Battlecraft Spirits to come and join us.
Well, there's there has to be just some sort of what's the word, compound, I guess.
Exactly.
That gives the note of peanut butter.
Yeah. There are a couple. I mean, obviously, I'm going to go there. There are a couple of white wines, specifically white, neutral white, non-aromatic, unoaked wines that, or grapes, I should say, that kind of give off a little bit of this dusty sort of peanut shell characteristic, and it's definitely a chemical compound of some sort. And I don't. What I do think it is lack of oxidation, which I don't want to get into because that's too.
No, that's why you're here, Troy.
The opposite of oxidation in the wine world is called reduction. Like reducing, say you're reducing a sauce or something like that.
Yeah, cooking the water out. Yeah.
Yeah. But basically being a really closed off, like there are ways in which you can make wine that you're promoting a little bit of oxygen in, so the byproduct fruits are a little bit more bruised and not not as tight, and then other really crisp, light, airy wines are just the oxygen is just the mortal enemy, and I think that I'm getting a little bit of that in this, and it's really hard to.
Interesting.
It's really hard to make that analogy from wine to whiskey in this.
Yeah.
Did anyone get
because
it in
obviously
the mouth yet,
there's wood.
Yeah.
Like wood is naturally and oak is naturally an oxidative environment because of how porous wood is.
Well, I mean,
There's also air in the barrel.
When they char it, does that kind of seal it at all? You think?
No, that doesn't seal it, no. But I mean, it does take out the oxygen from the wood. It's in the inside of the wood, right? Because it actually chars it. But there's so much air in the barrel. I mean, the barrel's not full of whiskey, right? The barrel has whiskey, and then it has a big pocket of air at the top, naturally.
Sure, but I guess I'm just kind of speaking off the cuff here. I think about it from a soundproofing perspective.
Sure.
And for people who don't know, I'm really into soundproofing. Let's put it that way, without telling you guys what my day job is. You can see all the acoustic panels and things like that in here. Sound is like water. So if there's one crack in the room, sound's going to escape, right? or if there's if there's something anywhere, and if there's a crack anywhere, and you feel it doesn't matter, it could be the smallest fucking hole in the world, water's gonna get out. So like for a barrel, and obviously I mean, I know that's a little bit different, but they bind those things so tight. They're not really there's not whiskey fucking dripping out of barrels in rick houses.
Right. So it's actually
so like yes, there's a pocket of air in it, but how much air is getting in, and then if they toast the inside of it, you got to think that the porous side of things of it, they're kind of sealing that off by toasting it, kind of, aren't they?
I mean, it is porous. However, I mean the that's why they use white oak, American white oak, typically, because it doesn't allow it's such a strong wood.
It's dense,
right? It's very dense, and that's why they use it for barrel construction, is because it doesn't allow any leaks. It molds very well together. That's why. So I don't think I has to be air that gets in and out. I mean that's. Especially when you're doing tasting, we did like a week ago at this point, when they're moving the bung and they're actually taking stuff out and they're letting air out. I mean, they're opening constantly to check it and stuff.
Of course.
So I don't think it's not sealed by any means.
No.
I definitely don't think it oxidizes as quickly as wine does.
No, for sure, yeah.
And I think a lot of that probably has to do with how higher
but
proof it is too.
You guys know how obsessed I am with like discerning different grades of nuts in tasting.
Sure, of
tasting
course.
In whiskey. Like I don't know why I'm so fixated on it, but like you get the peanut shell and then the actual peanut or peanut butter, and the almond and the hazelnut and the walnut all the way to the pecan, and there's just like such a drastic difference between dryness and sweetness and like oiliness, and
it's because
I wonder where the peanut part of it comes from. It's just I need
very
to know.
interesting.
So that's interesting that you say like the peanut butter and the oiliness.
Yeah.
Here's my tasting notes. I don't know if you guys have tasted it yet, but I need to say it now while it's on the tip of the tongue.
Yeah.
It tastes like all natural peanut butter that you went. It literally tastes this way. That you went to the store and they have like those machines where you grind down the peanut butter and then like you got it home and there's fucking oil on top of it and you maybe mix in a little bit of natural honey to kind of sweeten it up type of thing.
Yeah, I always do.
And
that.
it tastes like that, but with like that has maybe expired and it's got like a little bit of a bitter.
You bought it at the grocery store. You have it in your car.
Like and it's just got like it's too hot for a 99 proof whiskey. It's too hot. But I get that peanut butter and I get that oil residue that's on top of that all natural peanut butter thing.
It's not. I mean, it's just
with a honey coating. It's like it's like honey roasted peanuts that you fucking naturally grinded down in the store, and then the oil's on top of it, and then someone put like fucking cayenne pepper on it.
There's a weird spice at the end.
Yeah.
And
it's like a weird, like dirty spice. Like it's dirty.
I know what you're saying with the cayenne pepper. As you said that, it was right in my palate. I know what you're saying. There's a weird peppery, like hot
and it
pepper.
shouldn't be there.
Like a white. I think white pepper. I don't get a lot of white pepper. I think that's white pepper finish.
White pepper is probably a better word for it. It's just a more earthy spice. Not a fan, to be honest. And I think I like it better than I tried it last time.
Yeah, I don't think it's offensive. In my personal opinion, I don't think it's very offensive. I don't particularly care for it. But it's not like it's not the worst bottle I've ever had. I don't think, but
I don't know.
Except for $110, I don't know.
Yeah,
if we're playing
this is the one
game,
time I'm going to agree with your value game. This is a $35 bottle of whiskey.
If that was $35 to $50, I'd be like, all right, whatever. But
Troy,
yeah, no, I do agree with that. I don't want that to have an impact on how I rate it.
Me too.
And I won't. But I mean, if I were to blind taste this, like I've said in the past, there are certain whiskeys where it's unequivocal that the quality is worth the money, and this is nowhere fucking near
that's
triple digit quality whiskey. Yeah. And I don't mind it. I really don't mind it.
Right.
There's nothing offensive about it. It finishes sweet. It's gotten me thinking about, sweet and savory, I think, which is something that I like about all things food and drink. Mm-hmm. Sweet, little savory, nothing cloying, nothing, overly mouth drying or anything like that. And I mean, my palate, I can, the proof is not bothering me. The proof is not bothering me at all. If anything, I just wish that it were exceeding my expectations, and I don't think that's ever going to happen with this whiskey.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's probably when you think of the worst bottle, you're like, I got excited about this bottle. It's a 12-year-old store pick from Total Wine. It's $110.
And the 6-year,
your mind's going into this.
I mean, the 6-year small batch
Right.
was better than this.
It could just be not a great barrel.
And then like
I'd love to try
this
them
is
side by
I've
side.
probably tried like 15 or 20 Total Wine store picks at this point. This is the only one that does not deserve Total Wine's name on it because they pick good barrels.
I wonder if that's what they like. This is the best what they were offered. You know?
And I'm sure it was, honestly. Like I'm sure it was. I'm just gonna.
I actually kind of wonder. I think the first time I ever bought Bib and Tucker was at a Total Wine.
That's funny.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We're going to Wegmans in a few weeks.
I love.
Oh yeah, baby.
Can I ask you a favor?
When we're there, yeah.
No, can you get me black and white cookies
From Wegmans?
from Wegmans
Fuck yeah,
specifically?
dude. You know, me and Troy both worked at Wegmans for years.
Crazy.
I'm Kate's favorite.
crazy.
Do you know that
Kate's favorite
Wegmans-
pastry of all time?
You know, I sold a recipe to Wegmans that funded my ass on tour with Troy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Which one?
I made you know this story.
Yeah, but I always forget.
I was super high at work. You got to edit this out.
No, I'm not gonna add this out.
I was super high at work one time, and I used to work. Wegmans is like the Epcot of food
High on
stores.
life.
Yeah,
High on life.
No, I was fucking stoned on
No.
marijuana.
No.
and
High on
I-
life.
I don't smoke weed anymore. I'm allowed to say it. I was a kid. I was 19 years old. I was high on marijuana. My dad just died. I didn't give a fuck.
When weed was
So-
legal in New York.
Weed is legal in New York, in New Jersey right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You were 19 2 days ago. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so
Don't want to get
no
demonetized.
saving
so Wegmans, if you're not from the East Coast, Wegmans is like the Epcot of grocery stores. You walk in, there's a normal grocery store. It's elevated, and it's a very elevated grocery store. But then they have like the around the world loop that you do, and there's like, little shops that make, ready to order food essentially from different parts of the world. And I worked at the pizza place there, and I was working a night by myself one time. And they were obviously, it's a big corporation, and they're super strict on ratios and things like that. Like, okay, you can only use a cup and a half of fucking provolone for pizza or whatever. Yeah. And I didn't give a fuck about that. I was like, it was a Wednesday night. No one was coming in there.
You're gonna tell me how much fucking provolone I'm putting in this pizza?
I'm making the pizza over here.
Anyway, so I smoked a fucking joint on the way
Of life,
on
yep.
the way to work, and I made some chicken parm when I got there, and or maybe I bought it. I actually bought it, but I saw these like fucking ravioli shells that you could use. I literally stuffed raviolis with chicken parm. I deep fried them, and I put them on top of a pizza.
What the hell?
And I tried a slice of it, and I was like, "This is really good," but I didn't. They're huge slices,
Right.
So I didn't want it. So I just put the pizza out on the counter. I was like, "I'll fucking sell it for $8 a slice, whatever." It's a specialty pizza, so I put it out on the fucking counter, which is like a fireable offense.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm selling shit that's not in the system, right?
Yep.
So I put it out on the fucking counter, and it's gone within 3 minutes. So I had to make another one because, like,
You didn't
like,
have to.
No, well, people were coming up and it's like, "Hey, I just saw this lady in aisle 5 that had this chicken parm ravioli fried fucking stuffed pizza," and I was like, "Well, fuck!" So I had to keep putting. I put out like 4 of these fucking pizzas, and I had to work the next morning. And my manager Matt came in. His name was Matt too,
Good name.
and he's like, "Whoa, we wrote a lot of business last night." He goes, "You sold 15 fucking pizzas," and he goes, 5 of them are what specialty pizza did you put out last night? And I was like, "Well, I kind of," and he knew I got high.
Yeah.
So like, I was like, I kind of was ripped, and I made this fucking pizza where I took chicken parm and I put it in a ravioli and I deep fried it, and then I put it on top of the pizza. And he goes, "Dude," he's like, "That's strike 3." I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember what strike 1 and 2
Strike
were.
1 was stealing the shells.
Yeah.
Strike 2 was using the bar.
Oh, I definitely didn't
Strike
pay for
3
that. Yeah, those definitely got expensed. Yeah.
You did all 3 strikes in one pizza.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
but I don't know. I don't remember what strike 1 and 2 were, but probably being late and high. But I don't remember. So as he's like scolding me and going to get like the write-up book, some lady walks up to the counter and says, "Hey, do you guys have that fried ravioli chicken parm pizza out today?" And he literally looks at me and he goes, "You better make that fucking pizza." So I made it, and they sold like 15 of them, 15 full pies that day in my 4-hour shift that I was there.
Oh, crap.
So like, I guess corporate got word of it, and
Just half the story.
And Matt like called me.
Danny Wegman.
Yeah, like, I guess
You got it.
I got a pizza for you over
Getting
here.
the know right
I
now.
guess corporate got word of it, and so like I show up for work, and like I only have 2 weeks left of this job. Troy and I were in a band. We were going on tour.
No. You were there before me.
Yeah, no, Troy and I were in a band.
Oh yeah.
And we were going on tour, so like
and
and it was a 6-week long nationwide tour, and I had already put in my 2 weeks, so like I had fucking 5 feet out the door at that point. And so I walk into work, and Matt came up to me and goes, "Hey man, we got to talk," and and this good on Wegmans for doing this because they knew I was leaving, but like I thought I was gonna get smacked. He goes, "Corporate called," and I'm like, "Oh." I was like, man, I need money for tour. Like, can you give me 2 more weeks? And he goes, we're not firing you, man. Like I thought I was getting canned.
Yeah.
They ended up giving me a check for like $8,000. And they bought the recipe from me. And I think that they made it, but like I went there maybe 2 or 3 years after that, and it wasn't on the counter. So I don't know. But I got a fucking $8,000 check for it.
I bet they were selling pizza. Like, well, we don't actually have this on our menu. We can get real shit if we are selling this and it's not actually part of our system. We have to put it in there. We can't just steal this recipe. So let's give them some hush money.
They gave me hush money.
Yeah, and let's not admit this, but we definitely sold this on the books, right? This is a real pizza.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea if they, if it's still there or if it lasted longer than 2 months. I don't know. All I know is I got $8,000 for it, and then I left that fucking place.
So that pizza was the ultimate
dude
drinker.
It was a drinker pizza. Yeah, and I made really good pizza to begin with. So like, and I was the only one. So Wegmans is kind of like a corporate fucking.
So when you go to Wegmans,
time out. Wegmans is like a corporate style pizza place. Again, ratios and things like that. I used to work. I never made pizza in like the little boutique. If you're from New Jersey and New York, there's a pizza joint in every corner. It's not a corporate fucking franchise place. It's some dude from Italy who hired 15 Mexicans to make pizza with him. Like that's what it is on every corner in that state. And I worked in those places. I never made pizza. I washed dishes, I cleaned tables, and I fucking delivered pizza. I got pulled over 3 times on one route by 2 different cops. I got pulled over 3 times by 2 different cops on one route delivering pizza. Anyway, Wegmans is a totally different thing. I don't know if it was sustainable for them to make the recipe that I was making. All I know is I got $8,000. I don't know if they still sell it. I don't know how long they sold it.
I was gonna say you need to go when you go to Wegmans in a couple weeks.
I'm going to a liquor store.
Order the
Wegmans.
pizza.
I'm going to a liquor store.
But
Wegmans.
order the pizza. Like, hey, can I get a fried Parmesan shell pizza? And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I went to the wine shop at the one that we used to work at last April, and I mean they completely revamped it. They moved the entire location. I mean, it's
bigger. Or?
It's across the store and 3 times the size.
Dude,
the quality of wines that and it's talking about me, a certified sommelier,
master pro artisan, our pro artisan,
semi-pro.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Quality of wines, value of wines. They've got the temperature controlled room that was like 6 times bigger than the little cabinet that they had in the other little location. I mean, it was a sight to see. And what was crazy is that like 4 of the same employees that I worked with were still there.
Wow.
Whom I loved.
That's kind of sick. I mean, what's it got to be 10 years? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And it was unbelievable.
So me and Troy are going out to Jersey, not this coming weekend, but the next weekend for a wedding. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to map out stores to hit on the way.
Sure.
Ohio, you got nothing. Pennsylvania, you got nothing. There's 3 top-rated liquor stores in New Jersey, and Wegmans is number 2 on that list.
Wow.
All locations. So we're definitely hitting a couple Wegmans, and they start in Pennsylvania, so we're gonna hit them. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I expect a lot of black and white cookies. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I'll absolutely bring you black and white cookies.
Thank you.
Back, yeah. But I mean, I'm excited for Wegmans store picks. Honestly,
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Do they do them?
Danny himself goes and picks them.
No, Danny doesn't do it. Danny's sitting on his fucking ass eating chicken salad. Anyway,
back to the whiskey.
We went off on a tangent. This is a stinker.
I would say it's a stinker thinker.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to be nice. This tastes like shit. This is fucking terrible. This tastes like shit.
Disagree.
Doesn't taste like shit. What are you thinking, Troy?
I'm gonna say it's a drinker stinker.
You're gonna go drinker first.
Yes.
No, because I think it's
The Bib and Tucker 12-year that you just said wasn't worth anywhere near what it's. And you said
Yeah,
it was.
I'm not calling
and
it
you
a
said it was
stinker.
bad. You're calling it a drinker stinker.
Calling it a drinker stinker.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
I'm calling it a stinker thinker because it kind of stinks. I want to figure out why.
Okay,
That's why.
I mean, in 3 years when we open this bottle again, we can think about
It
it.
kind of hit in my throat in the back. It's like
It's-
cinnamony,
Yeah,
cinnamony, you know?
I get what they're going for with the bottle too. Maybe I mean,
An old medicine bottle. I don't.
well, it's Western. It's like this Western themed.
I don't
shit.
particularly like it. The
I don't.
bottle.
I mean, I
It's
get what they're going
okay.
for, but I'm not a big
like it.
fan. Like you can't even see any of the. There's like embossed stuff on here. You don't really
Yeah,
even fucking see it.
I don't really like.
Well, yeah, actually, that's true. Now that I think about that,
We just spent 30 minutes on a shitty whiskey, so let's move on. Cracker break.
It's a cracker.
I-
Wait, it's not.
I
a
was just
cracker
gonna
break.
say
It's a Troy
one
break.
really really quick thing.
Yeah.
It's far more common to see this in wine bottles, like brown, green, like dark,
Right.
like dark glass to prevent you from being able to see the contents
Mhm.
inside the bottle. And it didn't occur to me until you guys just said that. That's not a common theme in whiskey.
Mm-mm.
And maybe it's because they're trying to, I don't know.
Hide something.
I don't know. I mean, look in the glass. It's got a good color profile to it. I'm not,
Yeah.
I wouldn't try to hide that if I was
Exactly.
like. And maybe it's a Sonoma thing. Maybe it's a California thing. You know, they're a California company. But
Hey,
I mean, they're
wine.
dedicated. I mean, they don't do wine. They do rye,
don't
wheat,
know.
and Canadian. That's why they're called 3 beverage or whatever. Like
Well,
this is the first dive
Hey,
into it, and you guys are failing.
Oh, don't be
so
so.
this real quick before we go further. This is distilled in Tennessee.
Right.
It's sourced from Tennessee.
Okay, so and it's bottled. Well, it also says bottled by Bibb and Tucker in Columbia, Tennessee.
So literally,
It doesn't say made by Bibb and Tucker. They're sourcing it from Dickel, and they probably have a bottling house there.
right? So they bottle it for them. They ship it to wherever they are, and they distribute it around the country. Is my guess.
Yeah,
We're 100% correct with this podcast, so that's exactly what happens.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's
so they just
sourced-
slap their name on it in their marketing, and they say, "Here you go. This is what we have."
And they're probably not, this is going to be always either a blended or sourced whiskey. They don't have a distillery. I was looking to see if they broke ground on something or what, but they don't.
All right.
So anyway, moving
All right.
on from it.
Moving on.
Cracker break.
It's a fun cracker break. Cracker break. Welcome back, Quackle Boy. I got another pun for you, Anthony. You ready for it? I want to read this one too.
You're not going to do the duck voice?
Which one? That one? Cracker break brought to you by another pun because I know Anthony loves them so much. Hey, Anthony. The other day, I bought 2 large bottles of whiskey, but I was worried I would drop them on the way home. To solve this problem, I drank them before beginning the long walk home. I'm really glad I did because I fell over 6 times. You don't get it? You don't get that?
No.
It was a thinker. I know.
What? Do you get it, Troy?
He glad he drank the bottles before he walked home because he fell over 6 times. He would have smashed the bottles if we'd have carried him home. So he drank them before he went home.
Jesus Christ.
Over your head. I'm sorry. I'll make the
No,
next
it's
one
just
simpler.
fucking dumb.
I love the clapping and the waffle.
I missed the button.
Somebody appreciated it.
Not supposed to make me feel stupid on
Hey,
Quackle Boy.
why are you making me feel stupid over
And
here?
I'm going to do just for you.
That's a Cracker Break. This Cracker Break brought to you by Andy's Molars. They're really good at chewing.
All right, talk about your whiskey.
All right, this
This
is.
Quackle Boy. Just kidding.
Oh, you go for it.
I was a joke.
Okay. This Cracker Break brought to you by Stinky Whiskey. Here's another one.
Stinky schminky.
Stinky. So this is a Rebel pick. I can't really see it from over here, but it's a Rebel Distiller's Collection bourbon, and it is a Cap in Cork, which is a local store here. Store pick. Oh, that's big bottle. And yeah, I think like I said before, I've tried it with other people to make sure it wasn't just me who's crazy. But I hate it. And
I hate it.
I
Pity the fool.
hate it with all my guts.
And Rebel's made by Lux Row.
It's a Lux Row pick, essentially, from a local store. Like I said, I think there was 2 or 3 barrels to pick at the time. It would just come out that day, so I just grabbed one because I was like, yeah, whatever. They're probably both about the same. And I think I picked the wrong one.
There's still Rebel store picks.
I
Probably
think
from this
barrel
batch.
is actually still out there. And it's been 2 years.
It's still on the shelves at Cap and Cork. Yeah.
I've seen it.
What's the proof and what is
113, right?
Yeah.
113 proof?
Yep.
And what barrel number is it? It says Cap and
Barrel
Cork.
number?
It says Cap and Cork number.
Un.
1. Okay.
Does it say?
Oh wait, no.
Does it say un?
Barrel number 6819674.
Which translates to un.
No, well, it's
No. Cap and Cork number 1. It should say.
It's a little bit confusing.
In the title, it should say Cap and Cork number.
Yes, which it does, but the barrel number.
Yeah. No, I was talking about the Cap and Cork
There are
number.
2 barrel numbers.
Okay. I think it might be 2 barrels blended together. It's not a single barrel. I think what they do is they take 2 barrels and blend them together, which is why there's 2 barrel numbers. So
Barrel filled 9126114, which one of the ones looks like a very different one than the one next to it.
I swear we haven't been drinking that much.
Oh my God! Pop the cork, Troy.
Troy's just really into this right now.
If you looked at it, you would understand.
They looked at it a little bit ago. Not with a...
Sounds like shitty whiskey.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing.
Let's just set our expectations now. Matt said this is the worst bottle of whiskey he's ever purchased.
I think I'm going to love it.
Yeah, it's going to be a drinker thinker.
The Bib and Tucker was the worst whiskey I've ever purchased.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. So I'm hoping that this holds up.
Actually, I have a Templeton Rye over there that kind of sucks too.
This is going to be like great. We're going to be like, oh my God, this is so good. I think this is a weeded whiskey or weeder, I believe.
I don't think so.
I thought all the Rebel stuff
It
was.
smells pretty.
Pretty.
It sounds pretty.
It smells pretty rye.
I don't know. I don't even care to look at it. That's how much I hate this bottle. I don't even care to look it up.
It is weeded.
I know everything. 100% correct.
Are you the fucking 3-eyed raven? What you doing over there, huh?
Hey, what you doing
Hey,
over
what
there?
you doing, huh?
Hey.
I mean, you can smell the wheat.
I just smell ethanol
And
and
What do you
grain.
mean you can smell the wheat?
you can, like, remember when we did that weeder, or that single grain episode?
Uh-huh.
It's just kind of...
Yeah. I remember not really being able to pick out wheat as well as I wanted to.
It's kind of... So, to
that's
me...
like genuine
So, to me,
curiosity.
when I get wheat in a whiskey, when I'm smelling it, if it's wheat forward, it's kind of like this, like... It's weird. It's like cinnamon, brown sugar met with some sort of like savory, like clove style spice.
Is that I think when you first said you said rye. Is that what you think? We're thinking it was rye at first?
No, I mean I didn't really dig my nose into it
Okay.
like I am now.
'Cause when I think of wheat, I think of like dustiness, more wispy.
Sure, and I think that spice that I'm talking about is what you're considering dusty, because when you say that, I mean I can pull it out.
Yeah, clove is more of a sweet baking spice. So if you're thinking of a savory baking spice, you must be thinking more along the lines of something rye-y.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's like allspice or something. I don't know. There's some sort of fucking thing that I've stuffed my turkey with in here.
It smells like turkey.
But it's like brown sugar caramelized dust spice. It smells hot. I mean, it's
smells-
113.
It smells ethanol to me, even after being open for 2 years.
And all the Lux Row has this like floral kind of thing to it. It's not like the sweet kind of fruity.
It's more
thing
it's
that
more
I like in
swampy
bourbon.
floral.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As weird as that is,
It's like weeds.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like a lily pad
It's
in
the
a
shit
swamp.
it's the shit that makes you itch when you're like
The shit itches.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, it won't be that bad.
That's really not that bad, Matt. I don't mean to persuade anyone's
That's fine.
opinion.
It smells hot. It tastes a little medicinal,
It's hot.
but not as bad as I remember. I still don't like it. Troy loves it. It's Troy's favorite whiskey he's ever had. We're getting out the limestone water again. What do you think, Troy?
I think it's spicy on the nose, not sweet, and not aromatic. No fruit, and nothing redeeming. On the palate,
All right.
on the palate,
Yeah, it's spicy on the nose.
It hurts my palate.
I guess leather, but that's a compliment, which I don't think that this whiskey deserves.
Wow.
All right. I don't really get leather. The nose is definitely like offensive.
I don't think it's offensive.
I do.
I think it's
like spicy. It's like spicy and musty, but like
I just think it's super underwhelming.
Yeah. It smells hot ethanol, with a little bit of like, it's like if you took a mixture of like gasoline and you put a little bit of like spice in there and like and that's like what you're smelling. It's like just a hint of flavor with just pure unnice things.
I will tell you that you can tell that there's whatever Lux Road does, they use a different type of water to proof shit down or puts to batch stuff with than a lot of other places when it comes to bourbon, because it's that fruity thing is not there. I 100% agree with Troy on that. It's like if you go, like your grandma died, you went to her house, she hasn't cleaned in months because she's old, and like you're going through all your shit and there's a big dust bunny that comes up and it's all in there. That's what I get on the nose with like heat, like almost like the dust is on fire. Like you just can't really breathe it in. But once you get it in, man, there's like just like this little underlying brown sugar leather thing. Now I proved it down, and I would suggest that both of you did too, because
I thought I was okay on after the first sip, and now, now I'm just not enjoying myself anymore.
proof it down.
Okay.
It's enjoyable whiskey.
I'm almost crying a little bit right now. I'm sniffling.
It's not the worst thing we've had today.
This is the worst thing I've had in a while.
There is a swamp characteristic to it.
Yeah.
It's like a sewer water characteristic.
Street rat. Street rat.
It's like if you've been in New York City and it's rainy,
So it just smells like New
and
York
like
City.
all the bums have like pissed and all the rats have shit, but the water's running down the street and you know that's the dirtiest fucking water ever, and then New Yorkers put it in their pizza dough. That's what we're drinking. Mixed.
So
that's what they.
So like
batched
Lux
this whiskey
Row moved
with.
to New York, and they took that swamp water, New York swamp water.
And I just added Kentucky limestone water to it, and it very much opened it up.
Yeah, all right. For science.
But like, I think the finish is the most underwhelming part of it. It's got like this fucking sewer characteristic to it. That's the only word that comes to mind. It's like sewer. The mid palate is actually really good.
I wouldn't say it's really good. In fact, I would say it's okay. Personally.
Compared to the nose and the finish, it's really good.
Well, that's not saying much. Let's see. Give us a little.
You know, if that's the case, I just don't think I'm a weeder kind of guy.
I agree with that completely.
Like
I mean, you love Buffalo Trace, right? It's a weeder. You like Blanton's?
But there are silver linings to all of that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like really, really positive ones.
I almost wonder if this is a sweet mash too.
I don't know. Adding water helps significantly.
Significantly. Still doesn't mean it's a great whiskey.
No, but it's a lot sweeter.
The nose is still literally offensive. It is fucking offensive. Like
I really hate it.
the
I
nose.
don't think it's offensive.
I literally. I'm surprised I even put this in my mouth as much as I did. It smells like shit.
It actually,
It literally smells
No,
like
it
musty,
does not.
moldy, fucking farm animal shit.
it doesn't, but okay.
It does. The mid palate is the only part about it I like.
It's fine.
It's a stinker. But I really tried, and I hope you know that, Matt. I really tried. It sucks.
Let's get it in the infinity barrel.
I think
It's not going in the
if you
infinite
put a
drinker.
drop in, it's gonna ruin everything.
It's not going in the infinite drinker, dude. It's not going in the infinite drinker.
Yeah, it's a stink. I mean, it's hard when I'm trying to go in it as open minded as possible. And I think the first sip I got down, I said, okay, you're right. It's not that bad. And then I literally found myself going like, I don't think I want to take another sip. And I did anyway. And I was like, no, this isn't good. I don't like this. So I think my body was trying to, Troy said a long time ago, listen to your body. I think listen to the body. It's also good advice. But,
Sometimes, but not all the time.
But no, I think I legitimately didn't want to drink this. And I think I'm going Stinger.
She's stinky.
So what's worse, the Bib and Tucker or this?
This, to me, for sure. Undoubtedly.
I think the Bib and Tucker was way worse than this.
Really?
Especially after I proofed it down. Yeah. Maybe if I didn't proof it. They're both really bad.
I just went back to Bib and Tucker and I was like, oh, this isn't so bad. This is sweet, nice. And then I literally, the aftertaste tastes like vomit.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
Like, legitimately, I was like,
God.
oh, God.
You guys are so dramatic.
No, I'm serious. And the first thing I thought, I was like, did I just throw up my mouth?
You just call me dramatic?
I'm fucking with
You're like
you.
the biggest fucking emo asshole I've ever met in my life.
Hey,
All
whoa,
right, all right, all right, all right, all
Call
right.
me
So,
dramatic.
wait.
Actually, you didn't even call me dramatic. You're talking about Matt. Yeah.
All right.
Fuck you, Matt. What you doing?
Don't apologize to me or anything.
Yeah, hey.
Fuck you, Troy. No, just
No, but I got the aftertaste of vomit. Didn't like it. Let's see. Proof down. All right, proof down. Bib and Tucker's better. As is in the bottle, the Rebel's worse. That makes sense.
no, you just
Sorry. Yeah, no, that's right.
No, you said Bib and Tucker's better twice.
Okay, let me rephrase this. As is, bottle straight up, the Rebel is worse. The Rebel proof down versus the Bib and Tucker, the Bib and Tucker is worse.
So the Rebel proof down is better than Bib and Tucker.
Yes.
As is, Bib and Tucker wins.
Yeah. Well, Bub and Tucker is the Bub and Tucker. Rebel as is worse.
I would agree with that, but overall I think that the Bib and Tucker is just unimpressive whiskey.
But it's not offensive.
This on the nose is fucking offensive.
Also half the price.
And half the fucking price.
half the
That's
price.
the first time I'm gonna agree with you on this shit. Fuck that. $110 a bottle for a fucking bottle of cow shit? That's just gross. This is fucking $40.
I think it's like 50-ish. But yeah,
Whatever.
anyway, it doesn't matter.
It's 40 now because it's been on the shelf for fucking 2 years.
They're actually trying to give it away.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so I just think that's my opinion. Troy, you seem to really dislike
You seem to be
the
relaxing.
Rebel. Troy had to
Do a little stretchy poo.
go to his happy place for a little while because he just
What's the
hated his
question?
whiskeys. Which is worse?
The Rebel to me.
In both proof down and regular?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anthony?
I think the Bib and Tucker loses.
In both?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Actually, really, I didn't really enjoy it, but I was pleasantly surprised. Almost shockingly surprised because it still sucks. But I was like, oh, this is not that bad of a stinker, but it still fucking blows.
Yeah, proof down it's tolerable, but
If this is the worst bottle you have, Matt,
yeah.
throw it out.
No, I use it for things like this.
Well, this is the last time you're ever gonna have to do this,
It's great. I can't
unless
wait.
we do the Infinite Drinker episode.
The Infinite Stinker?
The Infinite.
All right. Zach, if you're out there.
Zach, we need another decanter.
We need two more. The Infinite Stinker, the Infinite Drinker, and the Infinite Thinker.
All right, who's making a cocktail? Matt's making a cocktail.
I think I'm gonna make a cocktail, and maybe I'll ask Troy's opinion because we have to change something on the fly, and I don't know how that's gonna change things. So we'll give it a whirl. But this is called the Bitter Giuseppe. Didn't name it.
He's literally attacking me.
Didn't name it.
No, this is what he's doing. He's attacking me. He's called the bitter Italian, and then like in the hallway today at work, he's like, it's called a little fucking bitter Giuseppe.
The Amaro di Giuseppe.
He's making fun of me, saying that
I actually said this recipe is to slight Anthony in every way I possibly could think.
He said, "Fuck you, Anthony, and your family and your heritage. Go make the drink."
Okay.
Cocktail break.
Oh. Cocktail break.
Welcome back from Cocktail Break. This Cocktail Break is brought to you by people who can't make fucking cocktails, like Matt McKibble. He has to have some sommelier come and help him.
I think I'm deaf.
And it's still going to suck. This thing looks terrible. You didn't even stir it in a glass and strain it. You just poured it all over in one glass and cubed it. If you suck at making cocktails, because I was up there, if you suck at making cocktails, go to our website and submit your shitty cocktail to the cocktail doctors, and we'll help you.
So this cocktail was created by Stephen Cole at the Violet Hour in Chicago.
You suck, Steven!
So it's featured in Rogue Cocktails, which is then he did a follow-up, I guess, called Beta Cocktail. So I guess it's some hard-to-find cocktail book that doesn't exist anymore or something. I think they got sued for the name. There's a whole story. I don't know. But found this online, and I wanted to give it a try. It's supposed to be the actual ratios to the cocktail, and I'm going to mispronounce this every time. Is it Cynar? Cynar. 2 ounces Cynar, 3/4 ounce Carpano, Antica. 2 dashes orange bitters. They say Fregans or Regans, I guess. And then 15 drops of lemon, specifically.
Did you drop lemon?
I just squirted it. But you do. You build it in the glass. You put a cube in and you stir it. And that's it. Super simple. The experiment here was essentially, so talking to Troy about this, we mentioned about shaking citrus cocktails. When you see citrus in a cocktail, typically you think of it as shaken. This is kind of an experiment upon stirred citrus cocktails, or stirred cocktails that have citrus in them. So we used Starlino because we didn't have Carpano, and we'll see how it tastes. Troy, you have anything to add?
Not yet.
Yeah, this is called the Bitter Giuseppe, so it's going to be very bitter. It's all...
The bitter Jew?
The Bitter Jew.
Giuseppe.
Bitter Giuseppe. This is what I'm naming it. With Starlino.
He's been disrespecting me all night with his Italian jokes. I'm going to make a Manischewitz cocktail next week.
I would love that.
And I can't be offended by anybody.
Because you're an
Italian
Jew. And a Jew. Yeah, yeah. It's definitely bitter.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes like Cynar and vermouth, honestly, and the lemon kind of brightens it up.
Mm-hmm.
This more up Troy's alley than it is mine, I think.
Really? Why?
It's very bitter. Troy, I'm going to drink all of this.
I know.
I really like this.
The thing about Starlino too, and I can't attest to Carpano, but like Starlino versus like Koki, I think Starlino is a little bit more of a bitter vermouth in general too. So
Starlino's more bitter?
I think so.
So maybe that's why they use Carpano, is because it's
I'm talking about
sweeter?
it compared to Koki.
Okay.
And Cynar is
Artichokes,
but it's bitter.
Yeah.
But it's still sweet, and it's got like the good Amaro characteristics that I love. But it's bitter. This whole cocktail is bitter.
Mm-hmm.
It is before the ice dilutes.
Correct. Which is why I'm kind of curious that we build it in the glass and we don't stir it.
I don't know.
Stir it and pour it. I find that very interesting. I almost kind of wonder if I would enjoy it more.
That's Giuseppe's way.
It's Giuseppe's way.
Giuseppe's got other shit going on.
Giuseppe's a busy boy.
Giuseppe's got other things going on. He's making gravy. He's doing circumcisions. Like he's busy. He's a busy Giuseppe.
Giuseppe, why don't you stir your cocktail?
It is interesting.
I don't have fucking time.
I would like to try this with a Carpano.
I don't have fucking time.
You give me some fresh fucking time and I do it, but I don't have that.
Well, we all know like you like fucking fresh thyme in your fucking
Yeah.
drinks, dude.
But I would
That's
like to
what's
try
missing in this cocktail.
fresh thyme, fresh
A whole
rosemary.
pound of thyme and rosemary on top of duck fat washed fucking Carpano. Get the fuck out of here.
But I would like to try this with the Carpano just because I'm curious how much it would change it. Because I'm not really familiar with Starlino personally.
Honestly, I haven't spent much quality time with it myself.
Yeah, I mean, now that there's a bottle open, Troy,
Seems to be
it's quality time.
quality time.
We have some content to do on Saturday, so maybe we'll just sit fucking vermouth.
I don't typically like.
We invite Giuseppe.
Yeah. Giuseppe's gonna be out of town.
It's Giuseppe will be.
Oh, fuck.
I don't typically like super bitter things, and I don't know why I like this.
Yeah, I understand that. So did you do like a fleshy lemon?
So they call So for the lemon, they
Yes.
they literally call for taking flesh out of it. So it's literally a chunk of lemon, and then you squeeze it to get your drops out. I don't know how you're supposed to measure that. If you get 15, it's supposed to have who knows? But you're supposed to get the essence. You're supposed to get the the actual lemon along with it, and just drop it in the glass. Stir with it. So
Troy, does this remind you of a Boulevardier at all? With Campari, this is very
I guess
reminiscent
you call
of
it
Campari.
a bitter Vardier.
Yeah,
as it's diluting, it's getting even better.
Well, that's exactly what's going to happen.
My God.
This drink is definitely
My
not going to
God,
get
it's
any
getting
worse.
so again, the third sip I have obviously diluted. I'm just gonna let this sit for a
Yeah,
second.
swirler.
But I think I would enjoy this more if it was stirred.
It was stirred.
No, I mean like over ice and then strained.
Oh, okay.
If it was like
into the-
pre-diluted,
Yeah.
I
I don't know if that's the point of it.
Well, that's
is-
because you're, and I mean no offense at all,
please.
in a rush.
Oh, who's in a rush?
You.
Me?
At this very moment in time.
Why? Why am I in a rush right now?
Well, it's not that you're in a rush. It's that you want the full effect of the cocktail immediately.
Oh, sure.
Does that make sense?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna serve a cocktail, like part of it is the first sip. Like, I don't want to sit here and wait for the cocktail to get good.
See, I like how it's changing
Right.
over time.
And that's kind
I
of
think
the
that's
point.
your point. Yeah.
Well, so okay. So, all right. Two-sided story. You're at a cocktail bar. They serve you a cocktail. Do they want you to sit there and wait for that cocktail to get good, or do they want you to drink it and order another one?
Well, it depends on the cocktail.
Sure.
Yeah.
Last night, or what's today?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So yesterday was Memorial Day. I was grilling some chicken. I poured a glass of Booker's. Booker's is one of the only whiskeys I can drink Booker's neat, but I usually pour that over a large cube.
Yeah.
And I love it, and I let it, and I'll pour a good amount, probably a 2 to 3 ounce pour over a cube, and I'll drink it over the course of 2 hours. And I fucking love Booker's, like love it. So I poured that, grilled some fucking chicken, and the more it sat, the better it got. But that's 136 proof whiskey.
This is pretty low.
This is low alcohol content. Obviously, it's a low ABV drink. I don't know. With a cocktail, I'm not trying to wait.
Really?
That's me. No. Yeah, I mean,
I understand. Yes, I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm
And from a mixology standpoint too, it's like you got to serve your customer. If you gave this, your customer a drink, like what's the point of a customer coming to a bar and sitting there and drinking one drink for 2 hours? There's no point of that. You want them to spend money, but you also want them to be initially impressed. I'm not initially impressed,
have an
but
experience.
every sip I have gets better.
I see. I'm the exact opposite. When I go to a bar, I'm buying a cocktail, maybe two, and I'm going to spend the night there and hang out. And people can drink whatever they want to drink, but I'm like focusing on two, maybe one really good cocktail. And I want to sit there and I want to evolve. I'm not a fast drinker. I never have been and never will be. And I like this because it changed every time. Every time I try it, it's a totally different cocktail in my opinion.
And it's still doing that. So I'm not disagreeing with you, but like, and I'm not talking about me going into bars
from a business
and slugging.
perspective.
Yeah, from a business perspective, why would you want that? Like the drink should hit right away. All I'm saying is if this drink was stirred over ice and strained, maybe up front it would taste a little bit better.
Sure.
It would taste like it was 20 minutes older.
That's fair.
Like that's
The
my only
bartender should
point.
make it right away and then leave it there for a little while.
This drink will be gone, and it's too bitter for me, and I will tell you that. I've come to terms with bitterness, and you would think as someone who collects Amaro, like I wouldn't collect Amaro because I really fucking don't like super bitter drinks. This is super bitter.
So why do I like this? I'm genuinely trying to figure this out.
The vermouth.
Is it the vermouth that adds that it's just enough sweetness?
To me, it's the vermouth. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I love sweet vermouth. Absolutely love it. I think the citrus is. I would almost be curious to see if we squeezed some lemon juice and then did the 16 drops or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
the
fleshy 15. Sorry.
I wasn't gonna say anything. The extra drop ruined it.
the fleshy garnish too is interesting because like, what do you just let that sit? Is that the point of it? Troy, do you with fleshy garnishes? Because I don't fuck with that too much. You probably have more than I have. With that type of garnish, do you squeeze? Do you twist? Do you rim? Like you just put it in the glass?
No, this is actually the fleshy. This is not a garnish. This is the actual thing that I expressed over the top to get the drops out of, and then put in the glass.
Boom.
That's part of the drink.
Okay.
And then you drop it in. I'm assuming it will change over time in the glass as well with the lemon.
So there is a chance that this fleshy lemon was not even 15 drops.
Oh, absolutely. I counted as best I could because when you squeeze it, it's like, well, there's 10 drops. I don't fucking know.
I just kind of wonder if the acid from the lemon is supposed to cut. I know it's called the bitter fucking Giuseppe or whatever, but like,
did I do the inappropriate amount of lemon? Very possible.
No,
100% possible.
Yeah, I think it needs more. Honestly,
I agree with you.
But I'm still not offended by this drink whatsoever.
Okay.
I do want to say that.
Troy, you've been thinking a lot. I can see.
I want you all to wait for the last 2 sips of this drink
Okay.
before you climax.
Talk to me about this drink, Troy.
Well, I mean, I don't know anything about it.
You know as much as I know.
Yeah.
I do know Troy's gonna make it fucking 8 days a week.
I don't know why I like it. I don't know.
This drink is going to make itself in the end. And that's what I really
Giuseppe's up there right now.
Giuseppe.
He's up there right now. He's fucking
Troy, can I get you another
lemons.
Giuseppe special?
Dude, spilling all my Cynar all over the counter. I got videos of you spilling shit.
I did do that.
Yeah. You're just like that old fashioned video where you're dumping fucking.
Troy told me to do the waterfall pour in the jigger, and I was like, and I kind of half committed, and it just made a mess. It's fine. Anyway, go ahead, Troy.
Cool. So,
it's a slow burn. That's all I can say. And you gotta be patient.
I'm not patient with cocktails.
I know.
Right now, it's perfect. Literally fucking perfect right now.
Yeah.
So more dilution, more lemon.
And it's the point is what I love because some drinks get worse with time.
Yeah, this one's getting better every sip.
Yeah, and I like that. I really like that. And I didn't come up with this, nor did I tell Matt to make this.
I literally saw it on the shout out to the Educated Barfly.
Now I'm at 15 drops.
Not that he needs any more shout outs, I'm sure.
Oh
but
my God.
Licking the
You guys want to suck on a wedge, dude.
That's a good wedge.
That's a good wedge to suck on.
The Educated Barfly does a bunch of videos about educating people about cocktails and history and different riffs and variations and everything. He's super cool.
Oh, dude. Holy fucking shit.
But he brought this to my attention. I thought it was really cool, so I want to make it for you.
Time out.
Yeah.
Before you fucking laugh at me, take your fucking wedge out and squeeze it. Troy, shut the fuck up. Take your wedge out, squeeze it.
Into my
Squeeze your
mouth?
wedge. No, into the glass.
What does that mean?
All right, hold on.
Give me your glass, Troy. I'll fix it for you.
I'm just kidding.
I'll fix the fucking drink for you. It just, honestly, man, it needed like 4 more drops.
Welcome to the Cocktail Doctors. We squeeze your lemons.
That's a totally different drink.
I mean, I probably made it wrong.
You didn't.
No, you can listen. The one thing I can tell is it's not an unwell made drink.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. I still would say
Didn't go so far as to say it was a well-made drink.
It wasn't an unwell-made drink.
I'm sorry.
No,
Let me
it's
back
funny.
up. I meant no offense.
I
with that
know, I'm
whatsoever.
not offended at all.
Really funny, dude.
I honestly, it's a well-made drink. I'll say it.
Well, thank you.
But proportions are key in cocktails.
100% agree.
And if you're not doing what squeeze that in there. Oh man, Troy, you're gonna fucking You're gonna Justin Bieber yourself right
Like
now.
I said,
You're gonna love yourself right
it's
now.
a slow. It was meant to be a slow burn.
Nah, it was meant to have
We're
more lemon.
expediting.
That's all. The
process
acid
here.
acid needed to be there.
It is a different drink.
And it's
100%
better.
different
Right,
drink now.
right, right.
I don't know. I think mine might have had more flesh on it, so I think I got too much
Oh,
based
man.
on how much I had left. The ratio's a little fucked up for me now, but I
See?
agree. It's a different drink.
That is perfect.
It's a good drink.
The bitterness is still there, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
tamed by the lemon. My drink is gone.
That's a good drink. Thanks, Giuseppe, wherever you are.
You can't lose with those ingredients.
You can't. Yeah, you can't. 100% agree. I love Cynar.
Yeah.
I absolutely love vermouth. Lemon.
And
Bitters.
if there's one thing I can say about Giuseppe, who I believe is the
The only
the
uncircumcised
poster
Jew in Italy.
the poster child of Italian cocktails, is that Italian mixologists aren't really all that prevalent. I mean, it's such an American thing,
It really is.
like it's such an American thing, and I just suspect that Giuseppe would be like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna put this drink. I'm not
Giuseppe
gonna,
has his hands full, man.
yeah,
Like,
and yes, like I'm not gonna put this drink in a cocktail glass and stir it with this, one kind of
With
ice,
wasted ice, yeah.
and then
But-
strain and hang on, hey, and then strain this drink into a glass that has a fresh, large cube of ice or fresh ice of any sort. I just don't think that it's the Italian way in general.
but the motherfucker's got time to put 15 exact drops of fucking lemon?
He's got time. He's got time to ponder over the course of his meal. That's 17 courses.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Giuseppe
And-
doesn't have time, so I
and by
think he
the-
takes a fresh fucking little...
No, I think he has all the time. He's gonna put a cocktail down. He's gonna make it and put it in front of him.
Right.
And over a 17-course meal, this drink is gonna evolve into dessert where it gets to the sweetest and most interesting.
Right.
It's gonna hit with dessert, and he's gonna be like, "Mamma mia! It's a Giuseppe's a drink." And that's
Mamma mia!
Yeah.
Giuseppe.
What do you think? Overall rating, combined. What do you rate it?
It's a drinker. It's gone.
But when you first took a sip, what did you think it was?
You needed to sit for a minute.
Okay. It was stinky. Became a drinky.
No, it wasn't stinky.
Okay.
It wasn't
Did it-
stinky.
did-
It was
I
just.
mean, it
It was just.
transformed.
It was just ill prepared. I think.
Okay.
I think I would make this drink very differently, but
That's totally fine.
at the end of the day.
But then there's
nothing
time
wrong with
limit.
this. What do you mean?
There's at that point when you squeeze the lemon in, and you've got the ice. I mean, you
do you think you've stopped the
you've
cocktail
cut, you've-
evolution?
I do. I think you've cut the time in half that you have for this drink to be at its peak. And this elongates the entire experience. That is the only thing that I'm gonna say to defend the idea of the not mixing it, stirring it beforehand, and
This is the most heated debate we've ever had about a cocktail.
well, to rebuttal
yeah.
my
And
own
it's so simple.
to
though.
rebuttal my own opinion. I actually kind of like the idea of me having to put my fucking finger in there and wait and whip
Yeah.
a lemon peel out and squeeze it and change it.
Yeah.
Because it's all right, cool. I got bolognese on the fucking stove. I got
Right.
fucking 12 people here.
Yep.
This is gonna sit for 10 minutes and I'll take a sip of it and it'll be fine.
Yep.
But then dinner's done or someone's staring over my shoulder while I'm cooking or someone's pissing me off or whatever. It's just well, you know what?
All right, I'm
Fuck
fucking
it.
squeezing this
Squeezing
shit.
this lemon. Let's
Yeah.
go. You know what I mean? It's a drinker. It's it literally is the definition of a family, a Sunday gravy drinker.
You just said your bolognese, and it just made me really hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my fuck.
Bro, you never had the
Ugh.
bolognese.
I had your last sauce with the whatever the fuck the chicken that Troy made, and you had the stuffed shells. Was it?
That's my everyday sauce too. We made bolognese for that. No, yeah, okay. I gotta cook for you.
I'm still thinking about this.
I gotta cook.
You do. Anyway,
Yeah.
not to distract. Yes, 100% yes. Anyway, drinker.
Yeah, it's a drinker. Yeah.
Troy.
Stinker.
Nice. Nailed
Just
it.
kidding. Dude, it's a drinker, but it's a drinker thinker. I mean, it is a drinker, but it's never I mean, like you say, if by definition, by your definition, every sip tastes different. That's
exactly what I was going to say.
Not be a drinker.
No, that's I was that's thinker.
I think it's different. I think it's
That's what you meant.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Your Honor,
be a thinker.
may I approach the stand?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's different with cocktails first and foremost than it is with sipping whiskey neat.
Sure.
Because I mean, the first sip was a drinker.
Okay.
The second sip was a drinker. The third sip was a drinker. Did they all taste the same? The same? Absolutely not. There's nothing to think about. I know what's happening in the glass. It's diluting. I'm putting more fucking citrus into it. Like I know what's happening here. I'm not thinking about it. These are literally my four favorite fucking ingredients.
Yeah.
To make cocktails with. Like if you come to my house, 95% of the cocktails I'm gonna make you are gonna have either Amaro or vermouth in it. Period.
I wonder why. Yeah. I wonder why. And I also agree with you before I get off on a tangent here, drinker thinker, because it evolved exactly the reasons why it evolved. We won't even get into it. I loved it. Anyway, I wonder why they specifically said they called out a specific orange bitter. They called Fegans or Regans or Regans.
Regan's. Yeah, that's because that's probably what they use at the bar.
Is that just because?
Well, listen, man. Like if you look at like companies like Death and Co, like they'll literally have like how they'll have like the Monday morning managers meeting or whatever at any corporate place or whatever. Like these bartenders, they'll work a full fucking night, and then at the end of the night they'll reconvene, and it's like, all right, well, let's have a meeting. Everyone make a cocktail. What have you been working on? What have you been working on? And they'll all taste them, and then they'll all come together, and they'll be like, well, instead of using Angostura orange bitters, I think you should use Regan's, and try that. And so like that is the recipe. And if they're naming a specific brand or whiskey or Amaro or whatever, that means that they've tried just about everything at their disposal.
Yeah, because I don't typically see for bitters. I typically see just orange bitters. I don't see a name brand bitter typically. I mean, so
that's a good point. But like, if there's a reason why those bitters are on that slate. Like they've tested it. That cocktail, if you want it to be true, it's got to have 15 fucking drops, not just like a lemon peel.
That's also crazy. Yeah.
But,
okay.
I've never had anything other than orange bitters from Regan's, for what it's worth. I've had Regan's bitters before I ever tasted Angostura bitters.
Oh, okay.
Regan's orange bitters to me is like the end, not the end all be all at all.
The standard.
But it was the first that I ever had, and it was most of the cocktail recipes that I ever saw had Regan's bitters.
So it's like a staple in the industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
because I just bought those on a whim. I didn't know anything about them. They just were on the shelf and the bottle.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah. And they might make other bitters, but I personally prefer Ango orange bitters rather.
Well, thank you for letting me make that for you guys,
dude.
Thank you for your help, Troy.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I think it was well worth it.
Yeah. Well,
next episode.
Next episode, we got a couple things coming up. Next episode, I think we're going to dive into the Penelope line.
Yes.
Finally.
Yes.
Which we're super excited about. So we're going to do the Toasted series. We got what is it? The Barrel Strength Texas Select store pick.
We have a Tennessee Barrel Select. I think it's 4 grain.
Oh, it's Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee. It is a 4 grain.
We have a Barrel Strength. I think we're going to either do 9 or 10.
I think I have 8 and 10.
I have 9. Anyway.
Okay.
Whatever. And then we have the Architect, the new one.
Yes.
Which is very exciting. We'll
very
talk
excited
about that. And then we have the Rosé cask finished.
Yeah, so we're going to do all of those. No cocktail in that episode, but that should be fun to dive into that.
And the following one, we're going to do a Cocktail Doctor specific episode, I believe.
Yeah.
We're going to take one Cocktail Doctor episode that was submitted recently and do a couple of variations on it and see how it goes. Do the original, we're going to do the submitted cocktail, and we're going to do our version.
Well, hey, thank you all again. Appreciate all the likes, subscribes, shares, 5-star reviews. If you're not following already, follow along on Instagram and Facebook. And we got some stuff available in the shops too, so we appreciate any support you can give us. Until next time, Troy, lead us out. No.
I can't do it without you.
3, 2, 1.
Yodeling!